Good day, hope you're well. Welcome back to War 2, Season 57. Today we're taking on NT06 Turkish Alliance, and I've got Wags, Leader, and Big Daddy Thanos with us today. Now, I was initially assigned someone else to start this off, but again, with my wonderful officers, we hashed out a plan, and instead of bringing someone for this thing, I decided to go ahead and just leader this thing, bring me a Wags on the team. So the plan in this fight's pretty straightforward. My goal is to basically just manage the rock stacks, stay close as possible, make sure that I count the hits before throwing my special ones, and focus on regen reversal. So I did a few duels just to work through how I wanted to approach it to start, which was going to be a lot of lights. But, you know, the reality is, if there's regen and it can be reversed, Leader is probably going to be one of your best options. I mean, even so much so that his debuffs cannot be shrugged or purified, cleansed either. And so you can apply them to all sorts of champions that are not meant to have those interactions. The only real limitation being, of course, champs that are immune to regen reversal. You know, Sinister, Atuma, champs like that. So in this case, we have none of those limitations. You can see we're just throwing that special one when we got 11 rock stacks up, focusing on some regen reversal. The more they build up, the better it's going to get for us. And, you know, keep them in the corner, keep reversing, easy squeezy, dunzo. Now, the reason I was looking to bring Wags on the team is because of this fight. We have a big Rintrah sitting on node 10. Again, Leader's a good counter here because his debuffs cannot be shrugged or purified or cleansed. So I don't have to worry about the Massachem. However, those are his severe debuffs that don't include things like his stun. His stun will get shrugged. And against Rintrah, you really want to be able to control the spacing. You want to be able to heavy him at will. And so the Wags was a must-have for this fight for me, I think, to make it straightforward. And you're going to see, with the Wags, Leader being metal, the passive stun applies, and playing this decently, not great, but decently, it's still going to take a while. So I cannot reverse regen on this node, so the plan instead is to try to abuse Mystic Dispersion and throw special 2s with Leader. Try to, you know, get dex buffs and stuff, because once you throw your special 2, he applies a debuff that does damage to the opponent as they try to gain power. So I wanted to apply that, and then just try to keep him in the center of the green door here. So once it is open, we can do some degen damage that way also. I didn't do a great job in this first loop of doing so. Here I get him pushed back. He starts to take a little bit of degen, but he walks out before he throws his special. Unfortunate. That's all good. You know, this is not meant to be a fast fight. This is going to be a barbecue fight. You know, slow and steady, low and slow, baby. We're going. Keep the eyeballs on his little charges. You can see here I let him get over, so I take note of that. Try to knock him down. And this is it. We bait specials. We throw specials. We have really no risk of any unblockable, anything like that in this fight. The only risk becomes me making severe mistakes, which thankfully is not going to happen here. It's just going to take 85 years for us to get there. See that? Finally I get him into the center. And thankfully, this speeds up a little bit here coming up, but not a ton. You know, if you can't reverse regen and you have a health pool like Rintrah, it just takes some time. You see him finally take some damage from that power reversal mechanic. It works really well against champs that have constant power gain. He's actually a really good Hyperion counter, stuff like that. He does very well. But Rintrah, it's just a big burger, man. Big lean beef patty going on right here. I'll keep his charges down. I notice that the green door is about open. I have him in good spacing. So now we're going to push him back. Just try to maximize that degen as much as possible. Given how his specials interact, Rintrah that is, it is tough to keep him in that green door. He's got big animations. He covers a lot of space. You know, I should have pushed him to special 2s in the green door optimally, but this is war. This isn't Battlegrounds. And when fight time does come into consideration for some, we don't really play at that level. We're much more about deaths, attack bonuses. So, you know, not optimal to take 3 minutes in a fight, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's close to a full yellow bar solo. I do have one more leader fight, so it's nice on the potion stash, and man, Lord, it's finally over. But now to the fireworks. Big Daddy Thanos has finally come to war. Last season, he was on defense. This season, we made some swaps. Shout out to my man Afo for giving me my Thanos back. And it cost me a lot. But as we know with Thanos, sometimes it's the price you have to pay. So here we've got this Killmonger, back part of Path 6. This basically has a long fisticuffs on it, so I can't apply any debuffs or buffs. So the basic plan is just to hit him for 30 seconds and then get into a damage cycle. Put on a little combat regen, try to save myself some future potions. I do have a couple minis with this Big Daddy here. It's nice to get the guaranteed crit on that last medium, given Killmonger's crit resistance. Now I'm just kind of burning power. I know I'm not getting Furies. It's all part of the plan. Try to keep his reverb low. Of course, Big Daddy Thanos has some regen when he throws specials, but speaking of, everything's down, and so now we're getting moving. We're ready to build up some Furies. We're ready to apply some debuffs. You see he plays right in. We get it all applied, very little power, keeping the reverb down, get some more Furies up, and now we're working now. As I think as the kids would say, cooking with gas. Ain't no slowing this down from this point on. Okay, one last special. Into the special 2. Don't even get to the second part of it. Imagine that we killed 30 seconds in this fight, and it was 1 minute and 6 seconds. Here we're going to use another Wags on this Conflictor. I knew that it was going to mess with my application of Armor Break and Armor Shatter, but I also knew that in this fight it was going to be less about that because I was going to have to build up. Early in the fight, I didn't really think about the panic, but I also noted that the panic applied. And so while that caused him a little more power gain, it was not a tremendous deal and gave me opportunity, should I so desire, to be able to apply those debuffs. The reality is, fully boosted Thanos in war doesn't need those debuffs. We're going to build a bunch of Furies, and we're going to absolutely beat this guy into the ground. So he just tapped me there. It was just a little light touch, but enough to apply the debuff, give him a bunch of power. And for some reason, every once in a while, Guardian Special 1 is still pretty tricky. It catches me. It annoys me. But thankfully here, you know, we're in war mode. We're not trying to do anything fast. We're just going low and slow, having some fun, pulverizing his armor every once in a while, trying to keep our Furies up, build them back up, make sure we got a nice stash. Now we're fully loaded. So I'm looking at it and going, yeah, you know, I think it's the time. I think we're going to stop playing so conservatively, and we're just going to end this fight. And as you can see, when Thanos makes a decision, well, he's got one of the strongest wills. What can he say? Now to the mini bosses. We're moving on to this Kindred here on 37. This, familiar to all us recent BG players, of course, the root and regen. And so, thankfully having some experience with this node set, have a pretty good method for how I'm going to approach it. It's got the purified slate, does not matter to leader, you can't get rid of his debuffs. Something that was corrected before last season, which was appreciated. And so the plan here is basically to get my debuffs up, push him to his corner, and really the key in this fight is you absolutely want to get a special punish in before the first root kicks in. Because if you don't, and he starts throwing heavies, it's going to get ugly. So we finally get one. Beautiful. He's at 25 charges. That's nice. That means even if we get rooted, we won't get degened. He throws the special right away. We get another pause and we sneak in. One more special one here. You can see this Kindred is just melting. We back off. He gets rooted and throws the heavy. It doesn't matter because charges are paused. We back off. And while I'm busy yapping, that is a Kindred down in 35 seconds. Leader doing leader things. Again, when those mechanics are involved, he can absolutely be broken, as we learned in the last BG's meta. Moving on to this beefy rank 4 Red Skull, sitting here on the Bubble Shield Power Focus 2 node. The plan in this fight was basically to not let him throw a special. And so I'm looking at what I've got. I'm going to that Shocker next. It's already there, so I know what I have to do to close out. And so I decided to go in. I'm going to invul here. And hopefully the fight goes quick enough that it'll last for 2 fights. And we'll talk about the invul. Well, really for both of them. It's in case I want to take a special 3. It's nice for safety, but it's also nice for being aggressive, which is, you know, has its time and place in Alliance War. So this man's got 500k health, bunches of armor, but we're going to do what Thanos does. Come in. We got our refresh after the Kindred fight, so I can apply my armor break, armor shatter right away, which is great. It really helps in this fight. That way I can, you know, parry as I'd like to. Hoping he'll dash in, let me pause things. You know how it is when you want the AI to dash in. Probably shouldn't have finished that combo, but thankfully he doesn't throw a special or anything. So we go in, get our next Furies up, and we start jamming. And you're gonna see some stuff here, ladies and gentlemen, because we decided to go ahead and just combo and push that first special 3. Nah, we're just gonna combo. We're gonna crush out 500k in 33 seconds. Ah, it's wild. We save the invul boost. We get over here to the Shocker. This is where I go put my last wags. I like to put the wags on Shocker. Yes, he does still reduce that stun duration, but you get a slightly longer one than if your opponent's running max limber, and so you can really parry and hit freely, and it makes the fight much smoother. So I think wags was the right call here. Again, shout out to my officers, Anthem and Sam, for letting me do what needs to be done and bring about the inevitability. So the plan in this fight is basically to bait special 2s. I did put the invul on so I could bait special 3s if I needed to. I've fought Shocker quite a bit during like the Clarity seasons and stuff with Chi, so I've got a lot of experience kind of just pushing him to special 3s. But as long as he's aggressive like that and throws the special 2, it's all good. Doesn't bother me at all. We get in, first rotation. I'm trying to get a pause in. I try to dash back. Boom. I get clipped. There's 2 hits of my invul. I'm faltered, but the panic gets rid of that. It doesn't matter. I wanted to throw the next special one, get some more Furies up, but he threw me off my rhythm. So I was trying to save the unstoppable. Here we are. I want him to throw a special. We get the pause. It's perfect. Throw a special. He won't throw a special. So I say, you know what? I'm going. Hit me. Let's go. I tried to get that off in time, which was okay. It worked out. Waiting for the special 3. I was hoping he'd dash in, but it's all good. But, you know, I had my last hit of my invul. Coming out of it, he doesn't have any stuns or anything. But he catches me slipping. Because, man, we get out of this, and I wanted to clam up and block, and he just straight throws a heavy. It was impressive. I come out, get faltered in the first one, but he dashes in while I'm unstoppable, so he puts the panic on himself, and that's the fight. Not as clean as it could have been, not as clean as it should have been, but Big Daddy Thanos is a monster. He crushes it. He's got a ton of health. He's got the protections. He's got the damage. He is inevitable. And speaking of inevitability, we did get the victory here today. A big shout out to Ruben and Grass Knuckles, MVPs. These guys beat us last season. It was really nice to come out and get the W and start the season strong. Appreciate y'all hanging out. Wish y'all the best. And until next time, peace.